morning, this is Kathy the Arty Mummy. Today I'm bringing you a pastel drawing. We'll be using Canson pastel drawing paper, 160 GSM, neutral tones. This is the image that I've selected.
The photo is by a photographic artist on Instagram called Dotsoh, DOTZSOH, and I'll put a link to her Instagram address in the description below. So if you'd like to follow her and show some appreciation for her kindly allowing me to use her work, that would be wonderful. There's some really beautiful inspirational photos on there.
Baby wipes, some kind of cloth or towel to wipe your hands with, and of course soft pastels. Now I'm not really sure which ones I'm going to use today, so again I will we'll see how we go. So to begin this one, I'm just going to tone my paper.
So I've just taped down the sides of my paper, and I'm taking a warm blue and just very lightly going over it, not being too fussy at all about it, just getting a bit of colour down so I can tone that paper, and then rubbing it all off with my Chuck's cloth. Just making sure it's all covered. And now again with the warm blue, I'm just going to start establishing where some of the darker areas are and just mapping out the general shapes of the darker parts and the water, the shadows in the clouds, the horizon line, the edge of the water. And I've picked up a purple, and again just looking at where those shadow areas are and beginning to just really roughly map out what the painting is going to be doing. So I use my photo reference more as a guide than something I'm trying to exactly match. Quite often I'm not even really looking at the photo. So I'm just alternating between the purple and the warm blue, and just popped a little bit of darker blue in there on the horizon line so I don't lose that. Just alternating those and establishing where the darks are, and then picking up the white and starting to establish where the light's poking through those clouds and creating that beautiful sky, as well as that where that's hitting on the waves and creating light down in the bottom half of the picture. So I want to put this white down so that when I get the pinks and oranges and yellows, that they don't get too muddied by the blues and the purples. Okay, next colour up, picking up a yellow. Just going to start getting that bit of brightness in. Up in there, just allowing it to mix with the blue and make that greeny tone we see in the photo. Greeny tone, greeny hue. Now again, I'm not being fussy with anything, I'm just laying down colour at the moment because there's going to be many layers. And there's plenty of time later on to worry about details. It's just getting a feel for the shapes and the colours and round about where those are placed and how that makes a nice composition. So now I'm trying to match that pink in the centre of the photo. fairly unsuccessfully. I don't seem to have a pink that works that well for that, and I end up going for a more orangey tone. I'm definitely going to have to head to the art store and find myself a hot pink, because the ones that I've got are either too dusty or too red or too something else. But I'm pretty happy with the orangey tones. I do try a couple of times to sort of match it, but not so successfully. So being happy with what we have. It looks pretty close to it at the moment, but yeah, we end up with the orange later. I'm just working on getting that reflection in the calmer water that's coming up onto the beach. Just when I'm painting with pastels, I tend to go almost trance-like and just paint, don't think, is a little saying that I heard recently, and I thought, oh, that's so me.
Mommy, can I put my hands?
Hello, little man. You got sissy shoes on.
No.
So I've just been working some pinks and purples into those clouds a little bit more. Okay. Hang on. I quite like that colouring, but I end up going back sort of closer to the photo. Going backwards and forwards with the sky blue on the waves and into the sky. Just having a look at those negative spaces now and seeing where I want to put the light and the clouds and the shadows, and just beginning to work those in. But I love that pastels are all about layers. You just keep building, and as long as you go with a very light touch, the pastels will blend themselves. You don't have to touch them with your fingers or anything else once you've gone past that initial toning your paper. If you want to blend something, you grab another colour or a lighter or a darker colour and just gently on top, and they will blend beautifully. Re-establishing the horizon line there. Here's my boy again, and this is me trying to edit during daylight hours. So now this might seem, a little bit haphazard at the moment, but like I said, I just try and feel it and let the painting tell me what it needs next, rather than to overthink it. So now I'm really starting to get into the nitty-gritty of really establishing the lights and the darks and where the sky is poking through and where the clouds are in shadow. And I'm just going to keep on working that right across the painting, trying to mirror the colours top and bottom as they're reflected in the water, and trying to get that lovely luminescence that you see in the sky there and in the water with that beautiful sunset. So I'll be quiet for a minute and just let you watch and take in how I work. So just gradually building layers here. Now, something to remember with pastel is a feather light touch is definitely a must with a painting like this. Now, if you notice, if you look closely, Now I've got several layers down here, and you're still able to see the tooth in the paper fairly clearly. I'm not down to my final layers yet, and that means that there's still room to move. I haven't filled it up, and to do that, to be able to get several layers down and still have that room to move, you really must be so gentle with the way you use your pastels, and just touching them on top of each other and just allowing those colours to blend and overlay. And all those colours and layers will add interest in the finished painting. So here I'm just really trying to re-establish that horizon line. It's bothering me a bit, that little spot just above the horizon line on the left where the clouds are, where the sky is poking through the clouds. Sort of is reading as a large wave. So I just need to, I'm going in with a little bit of black and just darkening that, adding some little buildings and darker bits on the right hand side of the horizon line, and just really darkening that sand up there. I think it needs to have that contrast. And what I mean by having the darker colours underneath is, establishing the shadows, like the shadows cast by the waves as they break, the shadows of where the light's not hitting the sand as much, and where the water isn't on the sand. Those are all your sort of your dark and negative space areas, and without that contrast, your painting is just going to be a little bit wishy-washy. So it's really important to get those highlights and shadows well established. And just a little reminder, if you're enjoying my videos, please hit that subscribe button and a little bell notification, and I'll look forward to seeing you with many more of my tutorials. And if you've already done that, thank you so much for helping me to grow my channel. It means more to me than you could imagine. So now that I've established those darker areas in the ocean, I'm just going to go back in with the white and establish some of the highlights. So up until now I've been using an off-white for my highlights. You always want to save your brightest brights and your darkest darks till the very last, because if you put them on earlier and you need to really highlight something and make it pop, you can't go another step lighter. So it's always a good idea to reserve that pure white and darkest purple blacks almost for your very last of your painting. and that's good advice no matter what medium you work in. And reworking that stillish water yet again. It took a few goes to get this so that I was happy with it, but like I said, all those layers and working and reworking and adding to all create interest in the final painting, because you never generally 100% cover up what's underneath. So it's all building into this the hopefully coherent painting that you get when you're finished. So I'm just going to continue working in layers and gradually building the colours how I want them, adding to the light in the sky and the shadows, and generally just sort of working over the whole painting until I'm a lot happier with the brightness and the darkness and the softness of the clouds versus the harder lines in the water. And I'll keep doing that for a little while, so rather than boring you to death, I might just play some music and let you watch. So about now I'm starting to get into some of the detail and the finishing part of the painting. It's taken me around about an hour altogether to complete this painting start to finish. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along. I'm just going to pop those two little people in there, and to me it's the lady on the left and the man on the right, and I've done her in orange and him in green. And so just put them down as black first, and then just a little hint of a highlight. And a little tip on painting people in the distance. might sound silly, but think of a carrot. Just draw a little carrot, and look like people in the distance. A good friend of mine that I practice art with taught me that one, and yeah, it works really well. So I'll wait quietly while you watch me put the finishing touches on. I put some highlights on the waves and a little bit more darkness underneath. Add some extra waves in the foreground, and then decide that my sky is not light enough, so I'll play with that a little bit more. But basically I'm just sort of zoning out and letting the painting talk to me now. I'm not really looking at the reference picture anymore. I'm just following my instinct and making things how I think they should be to have good tonal balance and generally gosh, I say a lot, don't I? Generally good feel about the painting composition wise. And just on a side note, if you are enjoying this video and you would like to see more, please hit the little bell, subscribe, and also if you know anybody else that enjoys pastel painting or acrylic painting, please share with them, as I would love to grow this channel and help a lot more people to love art and enjoy painting, and hopefully help them get good results as well.
just another little tip, if ever you're painting a seascape and you've got that reflected water in the front, in the foreground, and the beautiful sky in the background, don't forget to add some of the tones that you have in the hues that you have in the sky and in the foreground as the reflection. Don't forget to add a little bit of that in the surf, because the reflected light would be carried right through that in nature, and you don't want to miss it, because it'll just make your painting look odd and you might not even be able to put your finger on what's odd about it. Don't forget to put the same colours through your waves, even just subtly, and it'll improve your seascape a great deal. as I add the final little touches on this lovely little painting that I've so enjoyed doing, I just wanted to say once again, thank you so much for joining me, and for my subscribers, thank you very, very, very much. I really appreciate you more than you can possibly know, and if you're not a subscriber yet, I would love if you become one. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will have a little short take of what the painting looks like finished, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye for now. And the very satisfying last step, peeling off the tape to reveal the beautiful clean edges. I'm sorry I bumped my camera and you've got some of my stand in there, but yeah, I love this part.